Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Conqueror's Blade. So I kind of wanted to take a bit of an initial look at some of the open world stuff today. So I've kind of been playing around with it a little bit. I've ran into quite a few bugs which has kind of been a bit limiting for me, but I still had some quite interesting times, and it's kind of interesting with all the resource collection, bandits, etc. So yeah, we're going to venture out into the open world, kind of see what it's all about, see what the mechanics look like. Obviously, just in case you didn't know, to do that, obviously you need to go to the Watchman at the edge of your town, and just click Leave City. Okay, so I shall see you out in the wilderness. So we have come out of the city. This is Argolia here, which is where we were just in, where we just left from the Watchman, and sort of we are now into the open world aspects. So it kind of feels a little bit like Mountain Blade to me in its style. You know, you sort of click around the map. This is me here, so my sort of warband with my units, and I've got a sort of a supply wagon with me, so I can collect resources and carry them with me around the map. And yeah, it feels a lot like Mountain Blade Warband, really. You can sort of pan around in the same way, see different different features and units. So what kind of can you see? It's a bit foggy, isn't it? A bit of an inconvenient weather. I don't want misty when I'm trying to do a video. So we've got different cities. There's Westburg over there. I think there's another city over that way somewhere, but we can't quite see it for the fog. And then there's quite a lot of resources. So this is where you gather your resources from. So over here, there's an old mine, but actually it's completely depleted. So too many people have been extracting it. That's probably because it's a mine. It's right next to the capital city. So of course, everyone goes there. You can look around. You can see there's a cotton field over there that has got some resources. A paddock, so we can gather resources for horses. There's a copper mine there with some resources. I want a farm there, look. A copse for some wood, but again, that is fully depleted. So that kind of gives you a bit of an idea of, you know, this is where you're going to be getting your resources from. If you've been playing and done some of the quests with the sheriff, you should notice that you should have got some of these extraction tokens. And these basically enable you to gather resources at these different places. So for example, if we go over to this rustic farm here, which is handily close and has resources, you can see the tariff is 500 bronze coins to extract, and 1 extraction token is here. If we can get a bit closer. And then we can interact with it. You control click, allows you to interact, and then we get the option, if I close my inventory and you can see it, of extracting, you know, using 1 extraction token, which would give us food. I don't really want any food because it's not particularly of use to me. I'd rather have something else. Let's go over to the copper mine. Copper is always a little bit useful. And by gathering these resources, this is what you're using in your crafting processes, both to craft things for creating units, so you know, unit weapons, unit armor, horses, your personal hero weapons and armor, etc., etc. You know, camp upgrades, etc. So these are kind of like the base resources in the game, which are pretty important. So as we get closer, it will go from too far away to click for menu, and we can interact with it. So here we'll get a base resource of copper, but we'll possibly make it some quartz, tin, and antimony as sort of the rarer resources as well. So let's get gathering. Takes 30 seconds. Obviously, it costs me 1 token and 500 bronze to do that gathering. And as you can see, you get sort of an indication of what's coming through. This being an ancient copper mine, because it's fairly depleted, been heavily exploited, so you might get some copper ore, but you're going to be sort of lower quantities of things. Pretty unlikely to get things like quartz, tin, and antimony. If you find some of the mines that have got much more resource rich, you're going to get more within your 30 seconds than you are sort of depleted ones like this. But you know, you have to travel further afield to look for those sort of things, so it gets harder. So we've completed our job. We've got 1 quartz and 210 copper ore. I'm going to transfer all that to my wagon. So there's my quartz, and my copper ore is there as well. Okay, so that's kind of your resources collected. So now let's make our way back towards the town, and we can go to some of the crafting stations and have a look at how we then convert this into copper bars and things like that, and then how we might be able to use that in crafting later on. So I've come back into Argolia, and we are now going to refine our copper ore into something more useful. So I've come to the refining agent. I'm going to go through, and these are all the different things, of course, you can refine from your sort of basic raw resources. You know, you can make cloth from cotton, leather from hides, which I've actually got some hides to do there to craft. You know, wood to lumber, stone to stone. And of course, what we were doing are copper ore into copper bars. So you can see we've got 210 copper ore, and we use this 3 to create 1 copper 1 bar. So obviously you can just drag this up to a suitable amount. You get 210 if I can get the mouse click right. So hard. Can I just type that? Okay, that was the easy way of doing it. And we can set that off crafting. Okay, and you can see that's going to take us 1 minute 10 to achieve that. So once we do that, we are going to end up with 70 copper 1 bars. And of course you can use them in sort of some of your basic crafting recipes. There's a bit of a limited crafting options in the game at the moment, but as we keep getting more patches and as we go heading towards the open beta, that's certainly going to be expanding. That's going to allow you to craft, weapons, improved weapons, as well as all your unit weapons, unit armors, horses, etc., and all the things that you're going to need. But copper 1 is obviously used on the lower level stuff. If you want to start to get higher tier equipment, it will start to require things like copper 2 instead. So once our copper 1 bars are done, you'll see that to 1 bar of copper 2 requires 3 bars of copper 1. You can see where this is going. So, from 70 bars of copper 1, you're going to get like 124 copper 2 bars. And then if you want copper 3, you require 3 bars of copper 2. So, you're going to end up with like 8 bars of copper 3. And I think ultimately it will be going higher than that as well. It'll be like copper 4 and copper 5. So you can see if you want to start getting large amounts of high tier resources, you've got to start extracting quite large amounts of the low tier stuff. So for example, now we've got that. We'll transfer our stuff out of our resource depot there. And you can see we've now got 70 here. Yeah, so we can drag this up and do the same sort of thing. We can do 23. Can't count. Bad maths. And of course, now we're going to craft them and we'll end up with the copper 2 bars. So you kind of get the idea of how that works. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting system. I kind of like it. It probably will make it a little bit grindy, probably, if the only way to extract things is through those extraction tokens. And of course, I've only got 4 extraction tokens. You can see how you could quite rapidly run out of them. And the only way so far I can see to get them is to get them from the sheriff. We can look in our quest log. You can see over here, if you look at sort of the various quests, is there a journal icon for that? No. Not that one. I don't think if there's a journal icon. But basically completing quests like winning a siege battle, completing 5 fights in PvP will earn you 1 or 2 of these extraction tokens, and you can do that kind of daily. Whether there's going to be other ways to get them, get them as a reward for that, for 5 battles. Whether there's going to be other ways to earn them later on, I'm not sure, but we shall kind of see. So I'm heading into hostile territory now in the open world. Seems like there is a fight breaking out here. I have not done any PvP yet in the open world, so this is a new experience for me as much as everyone else. I don't know if I'm going to actually get there in time, but I'm trying to close in on this battle to see if I can get involved myself. Because of the bugs that I'm currently facing, I've got all my supplies with me, so I'm probably going to lose all them. But, attack is obviously the name of the game, and I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen, so that's why we're just going to try and get into this fight. So slow! Forwards, man! I want to get there before it ends. Left click to enter battle. Are you sure you wish to enter battle? I do. Yeah, let's join the winning team, as it were. Cool, so we are now entering our first PvP battle. I'm really excited about this. I have no good idea kind of how this is going to work. Let's just get in there. Defend your place. We're against a level 22 player. Looks like there's 2 of us. LV. Okay, what the hell is going on there? Okay, it's an enemy hero here. Let's go for it. Oh, and there's enemy units here as well. Let's just get stuck in. You're being resilient, aren't you? Die, please. Stop blocking me. Come on, here come the friendly infantry. There we go. This will tip the battle in my favour now. Let's try and deal with this enemy hero then. Oh, I missed my... Oh dear, I'm not doing very well here. Am I going to get my slam back in a minute? Get closer, get closer, get closer. Oh, missed! Right, horse, come. Okay, she's going to actually make a stand. I will... Oh, come back here. Fight me, coward. We can capture her place in the end. I guess she's trying to change units. Got our own infantry turning up slowly. There we go. There's the knockdown. Or at least a little bit of knockdown. Go for a halberd stab. And then a double whack with the pike. There we go. We've got this guy on the run. Or girl on the run even. So knockdown. I love that knockdown. Nice. So we got the kill there. And we're now capturing the enemy base. Get an infantry on me. Nice. It looks like this PvP is going to work out quite nicely.
captured the supply point.
Okay, what have we got now? Another supply point. Where's that?
Follow me.
Over this way.
Yes, sir.
Okay, come then. All our troops are in good health. Still got 40 out of 40. Let's press on. Looks like they may have actually been completely defeated out of the battle now. I have no idea if we're going to get anything for doing this. Or not. We only killed 5 people. Whether defeating them in battle is of benefit to us or not, I don't know. Capturing another one of the enemy bases. It looks like our one is secure. Yeah, I've got our friendly infantry coming. They've got 2 more supply points as well. Looks like they've left now, but after defeating them. And that's they've got thank you for the help looking chat. I shall say no problem, but whether we get anything with this, I'm curious. This is kind of why I wanted to come out into the open world, is to kind of explore some of this. So yeah, so I'm in the hostile territory now. You know, when you initially come out of that city, everything will be like blue around you, and all that blue is the Allied territory, or like the sort of safe zone, for want of a better word. But once you start to go into here, you can be attacked. So we secured victory. Did we get anything from that? 2 experience. So no, not really. Cool. Well, there we go. It was a barren mountain encounter. I don't know how those sort of things are coming about, whether that's just hunting someone down, and the person who originally does the hunting actually gets the, you know, any loot from them. Because I would assume that if you're walking around with a wagon and you get attacked and you lose, then you sort of lose access to that wagon or some of the supplies that you have in that wagon. Let's make it back to friendly territory if we can. Quite a few mean-looking people around there. If we can get out, you can see the difference here. You see this marks, the blue line here marks the friendly territory. You know, Gola is over there in the distance, and this is now into the hostile territory. While you're in hostile territory, your supplies slowly run down. You can see here my food is slowly getting exhausted, so I've got to try and make it back. Unable to fight and running fights again for another 2 minutes. Well, I think I will slowly make my way back to a bit of safety. That was kind of interesting. I kind of wanted to explore this a little bit more to kind of get my head around it a bit more. I've also been really plagued by these bugs with my camp, which seems to be affecting me only, so that's kind of limiting what I can do as well. But I still wanted to sort of create some sort of video to get some content out. And there we go, we've made it back to some friendly territory, which should be safe now. Finally, last thing to remember is, if you want to join my house, I've got a house formed up. It's not yet in this part of the game, it's in the sort of proper offline game, so once we come to the house tests on the 18th of February, then, you know, we should all be able to join in as a house. So I'll put a link to that in the description below. Let me know what you think in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for lots more Conquerors Blade content. And I shall see you all in the next video.